If you've been following the channel for about a year now, then you might remember a video I posted around the beginning of last year transforming a room for my little brother. Well, it's time for another major transformation, and this time it's going to be for my older brother who, if you remember from that video, was a huge part of the first transformation process. He works primarily as a network analyst, but also enjoys creating content on social media networks like YouTube and IG on a part-time basis. For a while now, he's been looking to put out more content and also do it on a more consistent basis. So we've decided to build him a workspace and a studio setup to help with that. He's just moved into his new house and has a room set aside as his office space. So in today's video, we'll be doing a complete transformation of that space and turning it into a fully functional desk setup and content creation studio.
Hey guys, my name is Ty from Ty Space. Now you might be wondering what the DAR in the name stands for. DAR is Dara, who is my wife. Essentially, we're going to be taking this house and we're going to be making it into a home. So we're going to be doing a lot of personalizations, a lot of smart tech in my garage, my office, my living room, my media room. I'm going to be changing a lot of things around this house and making it into our personal home, right? I love a lot of smart technology. Dara loves a lot of decors. So we're going to be combining both our expertise together and, showcasing a lot of these things on our channel, which is why this office here is very important. We needed to make sure that we're able to start to create a lot of content.
Now, the space we had to work with wasn't a large one, but it was just enough for what we had in mind. The idea was to maximize it as best as we could, so we decided to go with the 4-in-1 design where each wall would serve a different purpose. We wanted the main desk setup placed against the first wall, which is also the second largest wall in the room. The second wall, which extends across the entire room, would serve as a feature wall and a backdrop for talking head shots when needed. The third wall, which also has the only window in the room, would serve as an overhead station for product shots. And finally, the short wall close to the door would serve as a utility, workbench, and a storage area. Our hope is that this 4-in-1 design will help in making the room functional and aesthetic without feeling congested. To kick things off, we decided to figure out what pattern to use for the nanoleaf lines and shapes that we plan on installing later. For this build, my brother had seen a design somewhere online which he liked, so we got the exact bundles that we needed to create that design. Now, what we didn't plan for was the fact that things might change, and guess what? They did. He changed his mind and decided to go with a different pattern which represents his style much better. And to be honest, I agree with him. Unfortunately, that also meant we were now missing some pieces needed for the new design. Regardless, we decided to move forward with the new design with plans to get the missing parts to finish the pattern later on. The first stage of the build process was putting together the main desk setup and getting that area ready for use. I reached out to Secret Lab a few weeks earlier for their Magnus Pro XL desk and their Titan Evo chair. I personally use that pair, so I thought it was a no-brainer to get him a set as well. The Magnus Pro XL and Titan Evo combo does not take very long to assemble, so we tackled that very quickly and carried on with the build process. At the end of it all, I believe the room turned out great. We ran into some problems along the way, but nothing that was enough to cause any real issues. Let's take a quick tour of the new space, starting with the main desk setup. Like I said earlier, the desk is the Magnus Pro XL from Secret Lab. It's a metallic electric standing desk with an amazing built-in cable management system. I've had some experience using it myself and love it, so I think it will work great here as well. Besides great cable management, there's other cool features it also comes equipped with. The entire desk is made up of metal, so it's quite heavy but also feels very sturdy. Being made of metal also allows the use of anything that's made of magnet for attaching items to the desk. And I love how the company has maximized that ability by building a magnetic ecosystem of accessories that works so well with the Magnus Pro. One of my favorites is the magnetic headphone holder, which has a firm desk mount for holding up any headphone around the desk. The Mag RGB strip light is another nice magnetic add-on that can be picked up, and this uses a magnetic RGB strip to stick to any part of your desk for ambient lighting. Something else I really like about the Magnus Pro is the full-size desk mat that it uses. The desk only comes in black, but the desk mats come in different styles and colors, which is great for switching desk color or aesthetic without the need to get a whole new desk. The plan for the room was to use a mix of gold, black, and walnuts throughout the entire space, so the black desk worked really well, creating a nice contrast against the all-white wall. The Titan Evo desk chair pairs so well with the Magnus Pro in terms of both functionality and aesthetics. We got this one in black and white leather, which he chose the design for. I found that it performs as well as it looks, and just like with the Magnus Pro, you also have a lot of unique features here as well. It's super comfortable to sit at for long stretches at a time, which I'm sure he'll be doing lots of. The Titan Evo also has magnetic features similar to the Magnus Pro. For example, you can easily swap out armrests from the default PU leather ones that it comes with some with memory foam for more comfortability if you really want something like that. It also comes with a pillow that magnetically attaches to the headrest for a super clean and a really modern look. The chair can also be adjusted to fit different use cases using the seat height adjuster, 4-dimensional armrests, and the reclining back seat. When it comes to displays and screen configurations, my brother and I have very similar preferences, meaning the more screen real estate we have, the better. We decided to go with a dual monitor setup here, combining a 40-inch 5K curved screen ultra-wide with a vertical 2K dual-up monitor, both from LG. We picked up both monitors off Amazon and they work great for productivity-oriented workspace setups, which this most definitely is. The resolution of the ultra-wide monitor being 2160 in the wide format means whenever there's a MacBook docked at the desk, he'll gain access to more high-resolution screen real estate, and if that's not enough, then the vertical monitor on the right will compensate. It's not as high of a resolution as the ultra-wide, but it's still a workhorse and a solid complement to the ultra-wide. We also added a docking station under the monitor riser to expand connectivity at the desk. This is how the laptop connects to all the accessories at the desk, as well as both monitors using a single cable. One more thing of note in that area is the monitor light, which we mounted onto the 5K ultra-wide to help in illuminating the desk. My brother primarily works using the 16-inch M1 Pro MacBook, so it was only right that we set everything up where docking it to the desk is always fast and easy. Besides the Mac, we also added a Windows Mini PC to create a hybrid desk setup. The Mini PC is from Geekom and I found that it's pretty solid for what we need it for. It comes with some pretty decent specs that make it great as a complement to the MacBook Pro. He plans on using it for really light stuff like photo editing, casual browsing, and pretty much anything that requires Windows OS. For audio at the desk, we decided to add a pair of white monitor speakers. These complement the desk so well in glossy white sitting at both ends. They also sound great with clear directional stereo audio coming out of them. They're supposed to be sitting on some stands so they point upwards, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get any in time for the build. For times when he prefers private listening, we added the Bose NC500 headphones. They have great noise cancelling features that look clean and they sound great as well. On the other hand, for capturing high quality audio at the desk, we added the Shure SM7B, which is a well-known dynamic microphone that works really well for capturing vocals. It's one of the most popular XLR mics being used to create content across multiple platforms, and honestly, there's a reason why. The all-black super sleek design it uses also complements the modern aesthetics we wanted to achieve at the desk. The mic is sitting on a low-profile mount, which is the one I also use on my own desk and absolutely love. I found that it pairs really well with the SM7B to create a super clean and simple combo. The productivity pair we added to the desk is the Logitech MX Mechanical and the MX Master 3S. The MX Mechanical is such an amazing full-size low-profile keyboard with lots of features that enhance productivity. It also looks great, and the blue switches it uses create such a nice and a clicky sound when the keyboard is activated. The MX Master 3S is just as good and probably the best mouse that I've used in terms of productivity. The shape is ergonomic, it has features for multi-device connections, scroll wheels, and other features that simply boosts productivity. Now let's check out all the amazing Grove Made desk accessories and the decor pieces that we use to elevate the desk and add even more functionality. At the center of the desk, there's the Grove Made desk riser in walnut and black. Besides looking really clean, it also adds an extra layer of storage for small items directly onto the desk. It also helps in hiding away cables, not that we really need that here with the Magnus Pro XL's amazing built-in cable management system. Something worth noting is the small Echo Dot, which he's placed on the riser there to use as a smart hub, and this comes in handy for voice control situations. On the left side of the riser, there's a charger holder in walnut and gold, which has been designed to hold the original Apple MagSafe charger in such a clean and aesthetic manner. The base, which is plated in gold, actually surprised me by how heavy it was. This could also just equate to quality and the inability for it to be moved around easily. To the right of the desk riser, there's a laptop dock in walnut from Grove Made as well, and this works great in holding up his 16-inch MacBook Pro in a vertical orientation. The laptop is the main driver of the desk setup, so having it clean and a minimal way of quickly docking it to the desk is a huge plus. Also, the dock looks insanely good and aligns really well with the black, gold, and walnut colors that we've used across the desk. Finally, we've got a felt type material on the interior of the dock to help in preventing scratches to the laptop's body. There's a keyboard wrist rest from Grove Made right below the MX Mechanical, which helps in maintaining wrist comfort and ergonomics when typing, or just when using the keyboard in general. It's got a walnut layer around a black leather material, which is slightly soft to the touch. Right next to that, there's a mouse pad with a pen holder built into the top of it. This is another high quality Grove Made desk accessory that looks great in walnut and black leather. You've probably seen the gold pen sitting in the holder right there, which might look a little bit excessive to some, but it's great, so why not? You'll find that the gold pen pairs well with the notepad, which uses a heavy gold base just like the charger holder from earlier. This also makes the whole thing really hard to move, which could be really useful when actually taking notes with it. I also think it looks really cool, and the gold once again aligns with the overall aesthetic of the entire desk. We added some matte black holsters for when he brings a drink to the desk as well, and wants to avoid leaving marks when he takes it off. Besides the coasters, there are two wall shelves that we've installed above the desk in walnut and black as well, and they both have a very similar design to the desk risers, so everything looks great. We decided to mount those using the staggered pattern as we felt this configuration looked the best for the space. On the large wall shelf, he added a bonsoir tree, a really cool picture frame, and some books. On the smaller one, there's an hourglass, a metal figure, and scented candles with the inscription, "Meditate." Finally, right next to the desk, there's a fake plant to add some greenery to the space. On the next wall, which is the largest one in the room, we decided to add a combination of wallpaper and ambient light. The feature wall helps in highlighting and distinguishing the center wall. It creates a separation between the two halves of the room with the background that now boldly highlights his channel name and brand with ambient light. One of the main things we'll be doing out of this room is creating video content, so that feature wall will come in handy a lot. We used a combination of nanoleaf lines and shapes to create the pattern we had, which wasn't very easy to come up with, but very much worth it. Unfortunately, we couldn't finish up the design since we were missing a few pieces, which we'll have to wait a little bit longer to get. From my experience, you can't always predict everything you'll need when planning DIY work, and this was one of those cases. The results, even without the final pieces, looked pretty good, and the final pieces I'm sure will only take it to the next level. We decided to go with the patterned black wallpaper installed across the wall since the lines and the shapes all came in white. This helps in creating a bit of a separation between both elements, making them both visible at all times. The next wall is where we decided to plan the overhead station. It's going to be where he films anything that requires a top-down view, like product shots for example. We just placed a small desk with a wide top into the small jut out there and built a newer overhead rig topside to mount all kinds of accessories like cameras, lights, and more. I have a similar setup which has worked really well for me, so we decided to just do the same thing here. We also mounted a power block to the desk for quick access to power whenever he needs it. There's a small window right behind the station, which we hung up some silver blackout curtains over to control light coming in. We used a SwitchBot smart curtain opener to automate the curtains using HomeKit, which worked really well, surprisingly. Moving on to the final section of the room, the utility, workbench, and the storage area. Here we added a 9-drawer Husky tool bench from Home Depot to add some storage and a general workstation to the studio. The tool bench comes mostly covered in glossy black with silver drawer handles and a light wood top. Husky workbenches tend to be of high quality and can easily elevate any workspace or studio setup by adding multiple use cases in one device. He'll be storing all sorts of things in there ranging from document to gear. This also means we save the space he planned on taking up using his Alex drawers. To add a bit of green to that area, we brought in a small plant which kind of fit nicely at the corner of the bench there. We also mounted 4 black pegboards in the corner where the bench is located to add wall-mounted storage for more items and things that require quick and easy access. We decided to go with black mainly to create a separation with the white wall behind there. As for the pegboard attachments, we opted for white here as well, just in order to create a contrast with the black pegboards themselves. Regardless of all the issues that we ran into while bringing the space to life, we're still really happy with how everything turned out. I'm really excited to see what he does with the new space and the content it begins to inspire him to create. At this point, I think the room is at a really nice starting point, and I'm sure it'll only get better considering how much of a creative person he is himself. If you want to keep up with what happens next with the room, you'll want to head on over to his channel and subscribe to it. Anyway, that's a wrap on another room transformation, and I'm happy with the final results. I'm glad we were able to get something done within our tight 2-day time frame. Hope you enjoyed watching this video as much as we enjoyed putting together the new space. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope to catch you again in my next video. It's Tommy, and I'm out, y'all.